Hello, Pokemon Multiverses. VexoVerse here. How's it going today, guys? So, I'm here. This is pretty much just an introduction video. I'm not a big YouTuber. I usually just watch videos. But I decided to do a video today as an introduction of what I'm going to be doing. I am going to make videos, and I'm not really doing this for any other reason than just put my own output on there and out on YouTube. Because I've been looking at a lot of videos, I've been talking to a lot of my friends, and everyone has their own opinion on what part of the Pokemon universe is canon. And the thing is, in my basic opinion, every multiverse of Pokemon is canon. We have the manga, we have the anime series, and we have the games, and each one is different in its own way, but everyone seems to have a depiction of which one is actually canon. And like I said, in my opinion, each one is canon in some way. So what I'm going to be saying over the course of the next few minutes, don't take to heart if it irritates you guys or if it doesn't make sense to you guys. You know, you can of course always tell me when I'm wrong or tell me your opinions. That's what YouTube is about, leaving comments under a video and expressing your feelings. I am fully open to that. Like I said, I'm not a big YouTuber. I never really planned on being one, anything like that. This is just to get my own opinions out there, get my own voice out there, because unlike some of the YouTubers, and I will not name any names at all, but I feel like some of them don't necessarily look at everything, and they don't necessarily look at all the pictures. For instance, a lot of people think that blue is supposed to have a Blastoise. Now, the blue I'm talking about is the American blue. There's actually, well, I guess 3 differences. There is blue in the anime and blue in the game. Now, in America, he is known as Blue. That's your main rival. In Japan, he is known as Green. In America, Blue is your main rival to Red, and Green is actually a woman that is in the manga. I feel the manga gives us a lot more characters, so we know who the characters really are, and we know where they come from, and their history, etc. Because almost every Pokemon game is based off a character from the manga. Red, of course, as we all know, is the strongest Pokemon trainer in the entire world, and what do we have? Pokemon Red version. Blue, in America, who is his rival, and Green, who is his rival in Japan. We have Pokemon Blue version in America, and Pokemon Green version in Japan, and then we have Pokemon Yellow. Everyone thought that was just to be based off more of a kind of Ash and the anime series, which, yes, that is true, but also Yellow is an actual character off the Kanto manga as well. Gold and Silver, both characters that we know, both characters in the manga, and everything like that. So, basically what I'm saying is that every part of the Pokemon multiverse is canon in their own way. Ash's story is canon, Red's story is canon, the Pokemon Generation series is canon, but like I said, with everyone thinking that Blue has to have a Blastoise is because they've watched the Pokemon Generations, Pokemon Origins, and Gary, who most people know as Blue's spin-off character, has a Blastoise. It's actually not true. If you actually read the manga, Blue started with Charmander and he has a Charizard. So the whole story of people thinking Red has to have Charizard and Blue has to have Blastoise is correct in its own multiverse. But in the manga multiverse, which actually the manga came out before anything else, Blue has a Charizard and Red has a Venusaur. Red eventually does get Charizard, Blastoise, and, you know, keeps his Venusaur, but he actually trades Blue's Charizard for Red's Gyarados. You ever wonder how Blue got a Gyarados? Well, Red had a Gyarados, he traded Blue his Gyarados for his Charizard so that Red could fly from Mount Silver. I'm not going to go into why he does, he just does, but you can read the manga for yourself if you really want to know why. So, like I said, this is mainly just an introduction video. I'm going to be going over, I guess, in certain areas why each part or each multiverse Pokemon is canon, and then I'll just kind of leave it up from there on you guys, what you think, what you guys' opinions are, anything of that nature. Pretty much this is just my own opinion, there are some facts behind it, but most of them are opinions, so I'm not going to say that everything I say is 100% accurate, because it won't be. There will be times I slip up, there will be times you guys find things that I either misconceive, or I don't know, or things that I didn't comment on, because I'm not going to say something that I don't know for sure, but I'll give you my opinion. I'll state this is an opinion, I'll say this has actually been a fact. First thing I want to go over is what I talked about, Blue having a Blastoise. Now, in the main anime series where it's Gary, who's the spin-off of Blue, he has a Blastoise. Yeah, that's canon, because as Gary did say when he talked to Ash outside Professor Oak's lab, I have my Pokemon right here, and it's the best one of all. Now, Blastoise, maybe is not the best, but a lot of people think Blastoise is the best. A lot of people think Charizard is the best, and a lot of people think Venusaur is the best. But I'm not going to go over who the best is in this video. That would take a lot of coverage to go over, and that's not what this video is about. In Pokemon Generations, if you have watched this series, awesome. If you haven't, you just type in Pokemon Generations. They have, I think, about 20 episodes or so, maybe 18. And it's pretty much just small 3-minute video clips of, I guess, Pokemon episodes that are supposed to be based or picked it off from the manga. I'm not 100% sure how credible it is in the manga, since I've already found out a lot of stuff on there that does not follow the manga at all. I think it's more about the games it follows, and just puts them into an anime perspective with the characters from the anime, or the actual games. So Blue shows his Blastoise when he has Blastoise going against Lance's Dragonite. So Blue has had a Blastoise in the manga at one point, but never actually used it against the Elite Four. So that made me think, okay, well, he has a Blastoise. He didn't start with Squirtle in the manga, and in the game he only starts with Squirtle if you chose Charmander, and Charmander being the most picked Pokemon of the Kanto version. Then, yeah, most people see Blue having a Blastoise because you chose Charmander. I myself chose Charmander. I'm not gonna lie. I still choose him. Even if choosing him is not necessarily the best move, I still choose him most of the time. So, those two in both the main series, Gary, and Pokemon Generations, as well as Pokemon Origins Blue, having a Squirtle and having a Blastoise at the end does play out well to those verses, because I'm gonna guess most people probably see that, and they see those animes and watch those videos more so than they go onto a website and read a manga chapter of where it starts from the beginning, Blue showing his Charmander trying to fight a Kangaskhan and catch it, and then all of a sudden towards the end, seeing that Blue has a Charmeleon by the first gym, and then all of a sudden has a Charizard when you get later on into the series. I'm not going to, spoil that for you if you actually want to read the manga. So, in the manga, it does explain why Blue chose Charmander, and it does explain why Red got Bulbasaur. Red didn't actually really choose Bulbasaur. He actually had to use Bulbasaur to get a Pokemon back in Professor Oak's lab that had escaped. Oak, seeing how skilled Red was actually with Bulbasaur, decided to let him keep Bulbasaur to go on his journey. Blue, on the other hand, had already left on his journey, I think a little bit earlier than Red, with his Charmander that he chose because he knew about Charizard. Blue was known as a prodigy because his grandfather is Professor Oak. And of course, you'd think that if you're the grandson of the Professor of Pokemon, you're going to be seen as a prodigy and be expected to know a lot more about Pokemon. Well, in the manga, Red's first Pokemon actually was not Bulbasaur. It was actually a Poliwhirl. Red was playing with Poliwhirl they became friends with, and eventually he fell into a river and almost drowned. Poliwhirl jumped in and evolved Poliwhirl to save him. So originally, Red, when he got his Pokeballs, he actually officially caught Poliwhirl, and he left with Bulbasaur and Pokeball. And, you know, so that's canon that Red's first Pokemon was not necessarily Bulbasaur, but it was Poliwhirl in that multiverse. Now, in the anime, where we have Ash, his first Pokemon was Pikachu. In Generations, you know, they never show who his first Pokemon was. They show, in the first episode, they show him with a Bulbasaur fighting a Pikachu. So people think that Bulbasaur was his first Pokemon. In Origins, you see him pick a Charmander, the exact opposite of what Pokemon Generations shows. That's why I thought Generations was based off the manga, because it showed him with a Bulbasaur and not a Charmander. Pokemon Origins, though, shows him with a Charmander. So, there's 3 different things, or I guess you could say possibly 4, that show him with something different. In Pokemon Origins, Red picks Charmander. Pokemon Generations, Red is seen with the starter Bulbasaur. Ash, in the anime Red spin-off, is seen with Pikachu. And then lastly in the manga is shown him with Bulbasaur being his starter. So we got 1 that shows Pikachu, 2 that shows Bulbasaur, and 1 that shows Charmander. Now, if you're going to go by odds out, obviously Bulbasaur is the one that he's shown with the most. But like I said, every multiverse is correct in what they chose Ash or Red to have. Now, Ash and Red, of course, are different characters. Ash is a spin-off of Red, but as history has shown, Ash is no Red. Red is, well, I guess you would say, let me put it this way, he's the god of all other Pokemon trainers. He is known as the singularity best Pokemon trainer in the world. He has the highest level Pokemon other than you when you actually play as him or play as any other protagonist on the game. And he has the best winning record. He has lost to Blue once. After that, he never lost to Blue ever again. Well, you can say he lost to Blue actually more than once, but it kind of depends on what version you're going off of. Manga, anime, game, if you lost to Blue. Because, I mean, I'm going to be honest, if you ever played Pokemon Red, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and you go back to fight the Leaf 4 the second time, Blue is much harder the second time around than it is the first time around. His Pokemon have gone up at least by 10 levels, and they are ridiculously strong. Just putting that out there. But, you know, like I said, every multiverse is going to be canon in its own way. So anyone like me that may have a huge knowledge of Pokemon, but then watches someone's videos and says, "That's not right, Red didn't start with Charmander, he started with Bulbasaur in the manga," or, "Oh, that's not right, Red started with Charmander in the anime, why did you have Bulbasaur in the manga?" It's because different multiverses have it different ways. Different people who write the manga are probably not the same people who write the, screenplay for the animes. Even if Pokemon is created by Game Freak and owned by Game Freak and, owned by, solely one company, it doesn't mean that they can control what these other companies that branch off of it make. Because either way, Pokemon is a Nintendo-owned thing. Game Freak made Pokemon, obviously, and that's their most notable feat, is making Pokemon. And, well, at least the games. I mean, now Titanic, or however you pronounce it, has made, obviously, Pokemon Go, but still, the games came out from Game Freak. Pokemon was initially a game made by Game Freak, so of course they get the credits for Pokemon. But every multiverse will be canon in its own way. I, for one, am one that goes based off the manga more so, only because that's what came out first. The manga came out before anything else, so I see that as the most canon. And that's what the games were based off of, and that's what the spin-off characters were based off of as well. So I feel if they directed their sources from the manga, that's going to be the most canon. So, pretty much the end result of this video, guys, is every multiverse is canon. I think the manga myself, though, is the most canon of all the other Pokemon multiverses. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you guys want me to do more videos on my input on certain things, let me know in the comments below. I'll probably make a video later on about something, and I will upload it later. Like I said, I was not really looking to be a YouTuber. I'm just trying to put my 2 cents in, get my opinions out there, and cover things that maybe other YouTubers overlooked. So that's about it, guys. That's all I have for this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, give me a like. If you disliked it, hit that thumbs down button. And if you guys want another video or have anything I missed or need to touch on, let me know in the comments section below. And this is VexoVerse, over and out.